Beal after both played Monday night. Leonard and Beal are two of the 8 players on the Clippers roster who are 30 and over. The Clippers have the oldest roster in the NBA. Lou is going to have a tough time this season trying to improve the team with so many players needing a break. Good luck, coach. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
You ready?
You're invited to the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catch at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Join us for a day of health, healing, and community connection. There will be health screenings, immunizations, wellness information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedar Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
Super. Good. Inglewood. Purple rain falling down on the prince of the coast where the sun shine all year round. Purple haze over landscape, still I hydrate in the lunch line. The smog and clouds would start me out. This song's in the key of life, and love is in need of more. Young from Inglewood, barefoot on the cedar floor. If black music is the blood, then my heart has been beating more. Rapidly, happily, I look back on a Afeni Shakur. Her son paved the way. Now all eyes on me, cause I'm young, black, and gifted. Nina, all eyes gon' see. If you swung back when faced with a challenge that's meant to break you and balance scales, you ain't average, now throw your hands on 3. Gon' put them up for black magic,
black excellence, black habits, this black medicine, everything
black Chuck,
everything
black hug, black love, everything.
KBLA Talk 1580, Little D Smoke, perfect for the moment. I'm joined in studio by the proprietor of this black-owned business, KBLA Talk 1580. He's an iconic broadcaster, activist, author, and so much more. Tavis Smiley, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic DePrima. How are you today?
I'm blessed. Great to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Not a bad day yesterday for Democrats and for the left.
Yeah. Little bit of encouragement there.
Just a wee bit. We need some of that right about
We
now.
sure do.
Yeah.
So everybody's been reaching out to me, Tavis Smiley. What is happening with Southern California Edison? Some of my friends, colleagues, and contributors got letters. A lot of people wrote letters, made phone calls as requested by KBLA after Southern California Edison abruptly pulled out of their commitment to be part of our town hall meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow.
That is correct. And I wanted to come back on. Thanks for the invite to share more with your audience. And I've decided I'm going to do this every day this week. I'll be back on this program tomorrow, Thursday, the day of the town hall. And back on Friday. Dominique's off on Friday, I think, but James Farr sitting in for you Friday.
That is correct.
So programming note.
Programming note. He approved that day off, so he knows all about it.
No. So James will be here Friday. I'll be here with James. So let me just run through some of the things that have happened in the last 24 hours since I last sat in this chair and bring you up to speed on sort of where we are. So first of all, thank you. I said on this program yesterday, we've never leaned into our audience this way and asked them to sort of step up in this way. But I'm so grateful to know that we are heard in this city, in this county, in this state, and all across the country. I, at the top of my show yesterday, in every single hour, talked about this. So as you know, my show is syndicated in markets all across the country, in New York, in Chicago, you name it, Detroit, we're everywhere, Orlando, all across the country, Philadelphia. And the response that we received from the national audience listening to my program was just, it blew me away. And so I want us to know here in Southern California, we are not in this by ourselves. Utilities tend to, I was going to say rape, that may be too strong a word, but utilities tend to disenfranchise and maltreat poor people and people of color anyway. So across the country, what people are connecting to is, again, the hell and damnation that's often brought down on us by these utilities, oftentimes public utilities.
Yeah.
And so people are connecting in that vein, in that regard. And so at the top of every hour of my show yesterday, which I'll likely do again today, we shared this story with the national audience, and they tapped in as well. So all across the country now, people are aware of what Southern California Edison is doing here, has done, to disrespect, disenfranchise, gaslight, and just frankly disregard black people and black life. So that's out there across the country, number one. As a result of that, there were tons of calls and emails, as you mentioned, that went to Southern California Edison. So much so that the person who started this mess, named Kathleen Dunleavy, in Southern California Edison's comms department, basically has been told to stand down, and corporate has now taken over. There's a woman named Beth Foley.
Whoa.
For those who got that letter yesterday, that letter didn't come from Kathleen Dunleavy at Southern California Edison. It came from Beth Foley, the director of communications for the parent company, Edison International. So the corporate company, the corporate owner, has now stepped in to sort of manage this process. That's when you know you got a crisis on your hands.
Yep.
When the top dogs show up to start managing the process, number one. So these calls and emails were plenty yesterday, so much so that they had to craft a letter that everybody received. So many emails coming in that Southern California Edison International Edison International had to craft its own email. We'll get to that letter in a second because the letter is full of lies, and I want to just walk through this letter that many of you received and just tell you the truth. I think the letter has like 6 bullet points. You got in front of you, Dominique?
I do, and there are
6.
7. No,
Yeah.
you're right, 6.
Yeah. So we'll walk through those bullet points here in just a second, and I'll tell you the truth and the lies about those bullet points. So there were emails and calls all day. Thank you for that. Secondly, there were calls to the pastor of the church.
What? That's crazy. To me.
Edison called the pastor and started squeezing him.
The church where we're having the town hall
exactly
tomorrow.
Right. Victory Bible Church.
Mm-hmm. But it's still on.
We're going forward now. And they called him and he called me. So I spoke to the pastor yesterday. The event is still on. But just the nerve. They're calling the pastor, high-ranking corporate executives at Edison. I know their names. I ain't going to call them just yet. But they were calling the pastor yesterday, squeezing him. He called me to ask me for the truth. And I shared with the pastor the email thread that laid all of this out, dating back months, trying to get Edison to the table to do this town hall. So the pastor is up to speed. He has the facts, the truth from me, but they were calling the pastor, squeezing him yesterday. What else happened in the last 24 hours? I'm going to show you. This is the power y'all have. This is what happens when we show up and show out.
Right. I mean, I've got several people in the YouTube chat that got this letter.
Yeah, we're going to walk through it. Pedro Pizarro, the head of the company, whose email I gave you yesterday, phone number, we'll do that again later in this conversation. He announced yesterday his own virtual town hall tonight. If you received that letter, after the 6 bullet points, there's a second or third paragraph. Here it is, Dominic. You don't have it on your copy.
Yeah, it's on my computer, but yeah.
Yeah, read the top sentence on that page right there. This is from Pedro's office.
I would like to extend an invitation for you to attend a scheduled virtual community meeting that SCE is hosting at 7 p.m. tomorrow, November 5th. Pedro will lead this meeting.
So Pedro initially was offered to us, then we were told he didn't have the time. They offered him to us. They gave us dates. These are on emails. And I said yesterday, if Edison keeps lying, I'm going to pull out these emails and post them publicly on our sites. That's really not my way. But I'm telling you, in emails, he was offered to us. They gave us dates of his availability. And then all of a sudden, he was unavailable. But now he's available enough to do his own town hall tonight in front of ours tomorrow night.
But
his is virtual, of course.
But they've done other town halls before.
They have.
All they do is listen. They don't let people ask questions.
That's exactly right.
They don't provide answers. So that's not really a town hall. That's an infomercial.
That's exactly what it is. So he has scheduled his own infomercial tonight. This is the power y'all have, that the head of this entire company has called his own virtual town hall for tonight, jumping in front of us with our live town hall at Victory Bible Church tomorrow night, but he wasn't available for us. But all of a sudden, his schedule freed up tonight to do his own town hall.
Crisis will do that to your schedule.
Yeah. Should I stop there before I go forward?
Yeah, we can. Well, we can do that because when we come forward, I really do want to go through these bullet points.
And
People have been calling me.
And I got more developments from yesterday. So
okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about as per usual. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, this is Dominique DePrima. Is your loved one at the hospital or in a nursing home? Have they developed bed sores, fallen, or worse? These are things your family members should be protected from. Bed sores, falls, and dehydration are almost always the result of negligent care. If this has happened to your loved one, call Zoran at Basic Law Group at 800-2. At the Basic Law Group.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, Tavis Smiley's here. I know you know him well. His show typically comes on after mine every day, every weekday. But we are talking about the controversy around Southern California Edison, who had agreed in writing, by the way, to come to a town hall meeting, which we are doing tomorrow in the Altadena, Pasadena area, to figure out the settlement and where we are, the state of the recovery. And at the last minute, actually, day before yesterday, they changed their mind and pulled out. So Tavis has been bringing us up to date on developments. You said there's a few more things that we're not privy to.
A few more things. So the local media has tapped in. There was a beautiful story yesterday in Pasadena Now, for those who subscribe to that or get that. A great story about this developing news in Pasadena Now. That story, I believe, is posted on all of our KBLA socials, KBLA 1580. Another nice story in the LA Progressive, and so I think that story as well. We're trying to keep all these things posted on our socials. The LA Progressive story, the Pasadena Now story on our socials and everywhere else. And Spectrum News. Speaking of James Farr, the host of Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, James Farr is going live on Spectrum News at 8:30 in 15 minutes. 15 minutes from now, when I step out of here, James will go live. So I'm tapping in with Dominique. He's tapping in with Spectrum. So the local news media now is starting to cover this story about what Edison has done to KBLA, but more importantly to black people writ large. So if you're near television, when I come off here, don't turn Dominique off, but if you can do two things at once.
We can.
Yeah, James Farr is live on Spectrum at 8:30 talking about this particular issue. Maybe I shouldn't say this out loud. It doesn't really matter to me because that's not going to stop us. We talked yesterday to many of the local black newspapers, and so we're preparing to take out full-page ads in the black newspapers to get this message out as well for those who read black papers. So this campaign continues. We're not slowing down here. We're putting our foot on the accelerator. So we're going to get this message out more broadly. We want this community to know, in all of L.A., Southern California should know who Edison really is and what they really think of black people. And so full-page ads are coming in the black newspapers. Get ready for that. And in the letter, this Beth Foley that I referenced earlier, Dominique,
Yes.
head of corporate communications for Edison International, has taken over and communicated with me via email a number of times yesterday. Now, they're calling the pastor, they're calling everybody but me. I've not received a phone call from Mr. Pizarro or anybody else high-ranking at Edison, but they sent Beth Foley through these emails to me. And what they're asking for is to come on your show, Nicordelai's show. They want to come on the station for an interview, a proper interview. That's what they're.
But not on your show.
Yeah, I wouldn't even offer that.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm calling somebody a liar,
Yeah.
I want to go on their show.
Yeah, no, they don't want none of that smoke. Trust and
Right.
believe. They don't want none of that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
It's tricky.
Yeah, it's very tricky.
Yeah.
But they have offered to come on the show, on the station, and do an interview. And I'm just like, you don't get this. We offered you something on air. It's called the Town Hall.
Right.
Thursday night, which is broadcasting live on KBLA if you can't be there in person. By the way, I got a note last night that the registration numbers went through the roof yesterday.
Okay.
Which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
So more people are tapping in, given this drama, given this disrespect, to join us at Victory Bible Church in Pasadena tomorrow night. All the details, KBLA 1580. Go there. It's free. Refreshments after the two panels. It will go forward. We got a lot to talk about, even more so now. So please join us tomorrow night. I'm glad that we saw the numbers even go up yesterday. We're got a little more space. We're not quite at capacity at this church. So go to KBLA 1580. Sign up to be with us tomorrow night. I'll be moderating. I'll be there in person moderating these panels tomorrow night at the church. So come join us tomorrow night for that. Then yesterday, I recorded an editorial. We're running an editorial every hour on this station now to give more backstory and more context to this controversy. I wonder if Miles Lowe might play that editorial right now if you've not heard it.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. Southern California Edison confirmed to show up this week for our Altadena Town Hall, but then they reneged on their promise. KBLA Talk 1580 organized a town hall specifically for Black Altadena residents, people whose homes, memories, and futures went up in smoke when SCE's equipment sparked the flames. This wasn't some ambush or gotcha moment. This was a community saying, we need answers. We need to understand how this so-called fast pay program actually works. We need to know if justice will ever reach us. And Edison said no. Let's be crystal clear about what that means. This wasn't a scheduling conflict. This was a choice that tells Black Altadena residents that even after the fire, even after the devastation, even after admitting fault through the settlement program, they still don't matter enough for a couple of hours of Edison's time. You know what takes courage? Facing people you've harmed, sitting in a room and yes, live on talk radio with folks who lost everything because of your infrastructure failures and explaining how you intend to make it right. That takes backbone. That's what real accountability looks like. When you're the reason people lost everything, you don't get to cancel on survivors waiting for answers. You don't get to send your regrets to KBLA and call it a day. This is about respect, or rather, the complete lack of it. This is the same pattern of neglect that may have led to the fires in the first place, and now they're doubling down on disrespect in the aftermath. The residents of Altadena have endured enough hell, and now they are navigating the nightmare of settlement claims, trying to understand what they are actually entitled to receive. Southern California Edison, you owe Black Altadena more than money. You owe them your presence, your transparency, your time, and you owe KBLA Talk 1580 a public apology, I might add. And until we get it, we're going to keep emailing the top dog at SCE, Mr. Pedro Pizarro. His email is pedro.pizarro@sce.com. Pizarro spelled P-I-Z-A-R-R-O. Pedro.pizarro@sce.com. Or you can call 626-302-2255 and then press the number 1. That's 626-302-2255 and then press the number 1 to speak to a live person and express yourself. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
We absolutely do. It's amazing how many folks in this chat have received this letter. People are saying it's very detailed. Michael says, dodge the questions, control the mic. We're not letting them switch the channel on our grief. And so I think it's great that you're here to answer some of these bullet points in the very, as they said, a detailed letter, talking loud and saying nothing. That's my analysis. But you want to go point by point?
Let's
Can we
go.
do that?
Let's
okay.
go.
I am Beth Foley, head of corporate communications, which includes a team that was attempting to work with KBLA at the November 6th town hall. I asked Pedro, meaning Pedro Pizarro, if I could respond to your email. What KBLA shared on air November 4th is incorrect.
They're calling us liars, and I don't like that.
I kind of figured you wouldn't. Yeah. Here are the facts. So point by point, number one, it says Pedro was never scheduled to be a panelist. SCE was interested in participating and asked for more details.
So to the point of being interested in participating and asking for more details, stop. They agreed to be here in writing. It wasn't just interest in participating. It wasn't just asking for more details. They confirmed in writing their participation. They keep this up. As I said, I'll post these emails. That's number one. Number two, as I said earlier, they said he was never scheduled to be a panelist. He was offered to us. They gave us the dates. And when we engaged that conversation, they dragged their feet, and over a period of time, all of a sudden, Pedro was unavailable to us. That, again, is detailed in the email thread.
Yeah, and, Tavis Smiley is an author. He's always going to have receipts. That's not a good look.
Yeah, we got him.
Around here, we do data and we do detail.
That's it.
Okay, point two. After being informed that plaintiffs' attorneys would not be involved, as we would not participate if any plaintiff's attorney was participating, we confirmed our attendance at the town hall.
This plaintiff issue is really fascinating for me. I said this yesterday. I repeated it again today. Quinn Emanuel is a major firm of trial lawyers. They are involved in this case, as are 150 other firms. It seems everybody's got clients out of these fires all over Southern California here, L.A. County and beyond. As a result, Quinn Emanuel is one of a number of sponsors of our work here on KBLA as the show of record, Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, the show of record about all things Altadena. Quinn Emanuel has heretofore sponsored town halls, as you well know. When Quinn Emanuel realized that we were involving Southern California Edison, just like Edison didn't want to be in a room with Quinn Emanuel thought it might be a little inappropriate at this point, since they're suing them, to be in a room with them. So Quinn Emanuel backed down so that we would have full access to Southern California Edison. So they pulled out of this some time ago. We alerted Edison that Quinn Emanuel was not sponsoring this. They're not sponsoring it. They're not going to be involved. All I'll say is this. There were plenty of communications with Edison that plaintiffs' attorneys would not be involved, would not be on the panel, and they still pulled out. So if your concern is plaintiffs' attorneys, and we're telling you in writing and giving you receipts that Quinn Emanuel is not going to be involved, and you still say we're not coming, then what are we talking about here? On the press release that we put out publicly inviting all the media, Dominic, you've seen it, the press release inviting everybody to cover this, we didn't just, we told you who the panelists were by name. These are the panelists on panel 1. These are the panelists on panel 2. Quinn Emanuel was not even listed anywhere in the press. We told you who the panelists are by name. All of our social media posts show you their names and their pictures, these community leaders, etc. So they were fully aware that Quinn Emanuel was nowhere involved in this. So it's subterfuge. It's more than that. It's a lie. You're hiding behind a lie. They knew before they pulled out that Quinn Emanuel was not involved, which begs the obvious question. So why then did you pull out? You don't want none of this smoke.
Point number 3, we were looking forward to connecting with the community. I mean, I could answer that, but go ahead, Tavis.
I got one. There's a simple one-word response. Whatever.
Okay, got it. Okay, then the next point is when a KBLA producer notified my team that a plaintiff's attorney would be participating in the event, and that attorney's firm was named on KBLA's website as an event sponsor, we made the decision to withdraw from the town hall.
It's a lie, as I said earlier. That's not the reason why they withdrew. They were fully aware. Again, all this is in an email thread, and they keep pushing me. We'll put the whole thread out on social media, and you can follow the emails, date, and time stamped for yourself. It's just not true.
Why would a KBLA producer do that? That doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
And number 5, we are not participating in public events with plaintiffs' attorneys, as we expect many attendees are represented by attorneys, as is SCE. This can create ethical challenges which can be avoided when lawyers and law firms do not participate.
The one sentence that makes sense, and that's why the one bullet point rather that makes sense, and that's why Queen Emanuel stood down.
And their final point, when we declined, we offered to participate in an interview, and that offer remains open.
That's what I told you earlier. So they want to come on. But and there are other emails that they sent. This is the email that's sent to everyday people. All of you responded. In the emails to me, they continue to press and beg and ask for an opportunity to come on the station. As a matter of fact, they called yesterday.
Yeah.
When we were on the air. This is not public information. It is now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
One of their corporate executives called while we were on the air yesterday, trying to get on the air.
With me.
With you.
After you left, because they don't want that smoke.
They didn't.
And
exactly.
this is the thing that, to me, is the biggest tell. They're begging for an interview. They want to come on with me or Nee or somebody that doesn't know all the details, that wasn't on the email thread, so they can make us look stupid. They don't want to come on with you because they know they are going to come out looking like liars.
Yep. So they called yesterday into the station, the hotline, wanted to come on Dominique's show yesterday, and we declined that. Let me be clear about this publicly. We declined it because you're not going to come on the air and spread a bunch of lies. And at this point, we're talking to Mr. Pizarro.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Well, I mean, they offered him, so, and apparently he has time for their own infomercial tomorrow. So, Tavis, I know you got to go. You got to get ready for your show. What do we need to definitely know? I know one of the things is that the town hall is on for tomorrow.
That's right.
SCE or no SCE.
And there will be no SCE at this point, and I'm okay with that. What we want to press on is to continue this campaign. There are many of you who had all kind of commitments yesterday. It was election day. I get that. A lot of you reached out, and for those who didn't, this is your opportunity. This is not the Montgomery bus boycott. We ain't asking you to do this for a whole year, but we are asking us to lean in. Democrat voters leaned in here in California yesterday. Prop 50 passed overwhelmingly. The nation is celebrating that, and Democrats went all across the country. So here's what happens when we lean in. I'm just asking you one more again. If you didn't get a chance to call or email yesterday, please, 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 you see the power that we possess. Now is not the time to stop using our power. We're not there yet. We'll see where we are in a few days, but this campaign continues. So you can call again. If you called and didn't email, then email. If you emailed and didn't call, then call. But we need all of us to be involved in this game. The email is Pedro.Pizarro, Pizarro, Pedro.Pizarro@sce.com. We got to keep the heat on, y'all. We're making progress here. Pedro.Pizarro@sce.com. The phone number, 626-302-2255. Press the number 1 for a live person. 626-302-2255. We have to keep the heat on. All of these details are on our socials. If you're driving and can't write it down fast enough, then, again, all the details are on our socials. But we just need to keep applying this pressure, Dominique, until we determine that SCE has gotten the message. But apparently at this point, they have not.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tavis Smiley, thank you so much for keeping us updated. I know we're going to be updated again tomorrow. We are staying on this, and we so appreciate the KBLA delegation for standing with Altadena and standing with us. As somebody said in the chat, Ken Vanderbilt says, it sounds like SCE messed with the wrong radio station.
That's right.
And the wrong community. News, traffic, and sports, then open phones and caller amnesty. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. California's Prop 50 passed Tuesday by a wide margin. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass thinks voters sent a message to President Donald Trump.
What is really important in our country is that we have a check and a balance on this White House. And the only way to do that is for Democrats to take back the House of Representatives.
The passage of Prop 50 means a new map of California's congressional districts will be used in next year's midterm election. The map will likely give Democrats 5 more seats in the House of Representatives. And Black Democrat Jay Jones has won Virginia's Attorney General race, defeating Republican incumbent Jason Miyares despite backlash over violent 2022 texts. Miyares conceded, graciously acknowledging the controversy but wishing Jones success, saying, "We the people of Virginia need it." Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers had a chance to make some noise in the NBA last night, but they barely made a sound against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The defending NBA champions rolled up in the Intuit Dome in Inglewood and beat the Clippers down with a 126-107 win. 30 points and 12 assists for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, still playing like an MVP. OKC remained the NBA's only unbeaten team at 8-0. The Clippers slipped below 500 at 3-4. Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal did not play last night. Clippers coach Ty Lue rested Leonard and Beal after both played Monday night. Leonard and Beal are two of the 8 players on the Clippers roster who are 30 and over. The Clippers have the oldest roster in the NBA. Lue is going to have a tough time this season trying to improve the team with so many players needing a break. Good luck, coach. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, this is Dominique DePrima. Is your loved one at the hospital or in a nursing home? Have they developed bed sores, fallen, or worse? These are things your family members should be protected from. Bed sores, falls, and dehydration are almost always the result of negligent care. If this has happened to your loved one, call Zoran at Basic Law Group at 800-215-1234 or visit basiclawgroup.com. The consultation is free, and if they don't win, you don't pay. That's 800-215-1234 to reach my friend Zoran at the Basic Law Group.
If you missed the recent Left Coast Forum, then you really missed out. An insightful presentation from Professor Richard Wolff, a call to action from LA Mayor Karen Bass, an insider's view on Prop 50 and the government shutdown from Congresswoman Sidney Kamlaga-Dove, and as usual, Dr. Cornel West brought down the House with a powerful closing keynote. And many of the plenary sessions were standing room only. Check out our social media posts for photos and video of what you missed at the Left Coast Forum and make plans to attend one of our upcoming events. Our next Altadena Town Hall is Thursday, November 6th, 4 to 6 p.m. at Victory Bible Church in Pasadena. We're going to interrogate SoCal Edison's settlement fund and see what's really going on with this fire recovery program. And our KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair is Saturday, November the 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in Lamert Park at Catch at Audubon Middle School. All the details about these upcoming events can be found at our website, KBLA1580.com. So thanks again to all those who supported the Left Coast Forum, and a special thanks to our partners this year. The LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, Partnership for Growth, UTLA, LA Care Health Plan, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and the Liberty Hill Foundation.
Broadcasting live from Lamert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
And I would love to hear from you, whether you want to weigh in on what you saw, heard, and what you think about this ongoing battle with Southern California Edison on behalf of the Altadena fire victims, or whether you want to reflect on this election, the results, a great day in California, an amazing day for progressives across the country, or something else. But to be clear, when Tavis Smiley says that Edison caused these fires, he is not speaking out the side of his neck. The president and CEO of Edison said it is, quote, likely that their equipment will be found as the cause of the Eaton fire in Altadena. Presidents and CEOs of companies don't do that unless they know that they're culpable. And that's, of course, Edison International, which is the parent company of Southern California Edison. And what they have done when they do their, what they call town hall meetings, is they'll have a panel of folks from Edison listen to the community, and then they won't respond. They just listen. So what does that mean to me? It means they're collecting data, information about how you think, how you feel, how they can trick you, really, into going along with whatever their plan is, which has to be, I mean, this is a corporation we're talking about here. Their plan is not to make sure you're fairly compensated. Their plan has got to be to minimize their damage. And so if it is fair, and if it is just, then why wouldn't you want to speak to the community at a town hall? Why would you go ahead and schedule a quote-unquote virtual town hall that was never previously scheduled with Pedro Pizarro, pedro.pizarro@sce.com? Suddenly, you have a need for a town hall. Wonder how that happened. I just want to make sure we're clear about what is going on here. They're fast-tracking these settlements. So what does that mean? And how do people impacted by the fires understand whether this is a good idea or not a good idea if you won't answer questions and face the music? 800-920-1580, that's the number to call if you got a question or a comment. Just wanted to make sure we were clear on that, and also clear that we have a strong panel. There's lots to learn at our town hall tomorrow that can still help you navigate these decisions without Southern California Edison. In some ways, there may be a more frank conversation that goes on. I don't know. But definitely you can go to KBLA1580.com to register in advance for our town hall. Let's go to Eric calling from the city of Carson, excuse me.
Carson.
Your neighbor. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Dominique. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good. I'm torn between the Edison topic and Proposition 50, so I'm going to go with Proposition 50. I'm so proud of myself for learning about Proposition 50, and I'm not really real big on politics, but I'm glad that it passed, and I understand now why Newsom did not do what the Texas governor did and opened it up to the voters. I didn't understand that initially. I was afraid that the people wouldn't show up. But I do want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right now, based on the little bit of research that I've done, the 2028 presidential candidates are Harris, who's a former VP, a congresswoman named Ocasio-Cortez.
AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, maybe, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I guess she rallied with Bernie Sanders, and then, of course, Gavin Newsom. And so, in my opinion, I feel like the Democrats need to pick a candidate who can actually win. And I don't know if I know what I'm talking about, so you're going to help me. I think that supporting Harris is not a wise thing to do if we want to get a Democratic nominee that can actually win. I think Newsom is the one to get behind. What do you think?
Well, I think it's really early. I have said on this show, Eric, that I don't think it's the right time for Vice President Harris to run again. I supported her. I voted for her, but I feel like it's the wrong time because she's got too much Biden baggage. I don't think that book is helping her, really, to be honest. But it's really early. know that I would support Newsom. And there's going to be a long list of candidates. We've got Pritzker is probably going to run. Pete Buttigieg will run. Josh Shapiro, like pretty much everybody that was on Vice President Kamala Harris's list, short list to be VP, is planning to run again. And there's probably some folks that'll be coming from out of nowhere. Don't forget Wes Moore out of Maryland, the governor there, is planning to run. So there's going to be a long list of folks. I think it's real early. I know that people think that because Gavin Newsom is considered good looking, he's relatively young as presidential candidates go, and because of the way he's pushed back at Trump and the victory of Prop 50, that he's a good choice. He's from California. I think the nation may be a wee bit sick of us. He's considered liberal or too liberal, too progressive, which, I don't agree with that, but that's going to be an issue for him. So we'll have to see. I think that for some black Californians, they're not going to step up for him because he's betrayed us on reparations and on the Senate pick and several other issues. So we'll see how that plays out for Governor Newsom. But I think it's pretty early. And I also want to say this to you, Eric. You always say you don't know much about politics. I think you could stop saying that because I think you've educated yourself past the point of needing to make that disclaimer.
Well, that means a lot coming from you, and I'll just close by saying that I heard someone say that California, it could be a country, and we are kind of the head of the Democratic Party. So if that's true, I would say that, when I have friends or people that I associate with, I don't always like everything about them. I go with, can I deal with the core of who you are?
Right.
So I don't like everything about Newsom, but I do like that he seems to have some vigor about him, and I think that's what's going to be necessary to win the 2028 election.
Yeah, he has vigor. He has ambition. He has a certain amount of charisma. He has experience. We'll see. I think California is the fourth largest economy in the world, if I'm not mistaken. It's either fourth or fifth, depending on who you ask. But we are a huge blue state. But we'll see, because to some parts of the country, we're a pariah because we are too supposedly liberal. I don't agree with that. If you look at the whole state, we got a lot of red in this blue. But he's definitely in the running. He's going to try. So the question will be, who do we choose in the primary?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you for calling, Eric. I appreciate you. Eric called me at 800-920-1580. I'm not sure what he's referring to about seeing me. I guess the town hall meeting is what he's talking about. Actually, I will not be at that town hall meeting. I have family matters that I need to attend to, which is why you won't hear me on Friday. James Farr will be sitting in, which is actually perfect because he and Tavis are holding down that town hall, and he'll be able to let us know what comes out of it. I will definitely be monitoring it, though. And it is definitely on. Go to KBLA1580.com if you would like to register, and I would urge you to do so because I really want to make sure folks don't get ripped off, that people make whatever decision is best for you with all of the information possible to get before you make that decision. No judgment, but whatever is best for you. 800-920-1580, that's the number. We got amnesty, all comers. Welcome. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Spend an evening with philosopher and writer Kwame Anthony Appiah at Pomona College on Saturday, November 8th at 4 p.m. at the John A. Payton Distinguished Lectureship. Author of the New York Times column The Ethicist, Appiah has been identified as one of foreign policy's top 100 public intellectuals and is a National Humanities Medal recipient. This event is free and open to the public, but tickets are required. Visit pomona.edu/Payton-ticket to reserve tickets now.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty, and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Well, yesterday's election day should be a little breath of fresh air for progressives and people who aren't crazy across the country. Dems did well. Not just Dems, though, actually progressive Dems. And this is, I'm going to keep saying it. It's not about me. It's about the messaging. But I'm saying I told you so because my theory, and it goes back at least a decade, is that Democrats need to lean into the progressive wing of the party, where the young voters are, where a lot of the Black and Latino and Asian voters are. Look at these big city mayors, not just Black mayors, the mayor of Boston, an Asian woman, and others right now, New York City. They are young, they are progressive, and they are many times, the LA mayor, not that young, but coming from community organizing. These are people who are the energy of our party. The dead corporate, super compromisey, not trustworthy, respectability politics folks are not winning. They're not going to win. And I don't care how much you pander to the so-called soccer moms, the lacrosse moms, these mythical independent voters who are mostly Republicans who just don't want to claim MAGA, who are too embarrassed, to say they're Republicans, or they want that flexibility. Okay, that's fine. Do you? But this is a mistake that I have watched Democrats make over and over and over and over again. Oh, we got to attack right. We got to attack right. Yeah, it worked for Bill Clinton. That was a while ago. A lot has changed since Bill Clinton. Enter the internet. Enter the glut of information, and young voters who know more. They're exposed to more. And although there is mis and disinformation, there's also actual information. And young generations are not going for the okey doke in the same way. Yes, they can be tricked by social media, but they're also in some ways much more informed, and word spreads. It's like my guest on yesterday, the recent Howard grad, Tandia Abdullah, was saying, we can be pen pals with a kid in Gaza now and see their pictures. The world has gotten smaller. All this word salad and corporate pablum, it just doesn't fly. It doesn't fly the way it used to. And so Democrats need to come into the 21st century. That's the strategy. It's not just messaging. It's what's behind the messaging. What are you doing? That's why I was citing that poll from BET of black women. Because we're moving. This is not 1990. This isn't even 2000. Most people are moving towards policy over party. And I think that is even starting to show signs of occurring within the MAGA coalition, right? People are mad that it's not America first because we're sending $40 billion to Argentina while defunding SNAP. People are mad because we're prioritizing the budgeting and weaponry of Israel while the Israeli people do have free health care, universal health care for all, while they do have free college. We can't afford it, but we can afford to pay for their bombs. So we're starting to see cracks in the Republican front as well. And what this tells me is that the opportunity is where the energy is. I mean, Bernie Sanders, is not a young person, but look at the energy that he generated by leaning into progressive ideas, the things that help regular people. Not party politics, not fancy ballrooms, not word salads from Hakeem Jeffries. Actual, this is what I want to do and this is who I am. Yes, I'm a democratic socialist. And Mamdani wins by a landslide in New York. It really a mandate. Now he's announcing his team, that he is bringing in some experienced government administrators because he's never held elective office. But he's still going to be implementing his policies. He's brought in Lena Khan, who's the Federal Trade Commission, a former Federal Trade Commission chair, known to be a progressive. What I like is the people that he appears to be bringing in are experienced people that are in alignment with his politics. So one of the disappointments we saw with President Obama was that when he came in, and it shouldn't have been a surprise because he was a centrist, was that he brought in experienced people who were centrist or even to the right of him. And it doesn't appear that Mamdani is making the same mistake. Prop 50 passes by a landslide, 64%. And we have great voter turnout in an off election year with no human beings on the ballot. What that says to me is this administration's overreach has got people upset. The dumb things they're doing, the not America first, the starving babies in order to cut off your health care, that is not playing well with anybody. And I have said, and I continue to believe, that we need to stay steadfast because the people are the answer, and the overreach of this administration, the sheer cruelty and the ridiculousness of many of the things they're doing are going to be their undoing. And And to stay steadfast in that, Van Jones on television criticizing Mamdani, saying he should have brought more people into the coalition, should have been more of a compromiser. I don't know what the point of that is, other than to start the critiques, to be a hero to Fox News, to give folks a talking point. No, it's not his job to start backpedaling from what he ran on election night. He ran as a Democratic Socialist. It's not his job to cozy up to you or people, those corporate Democrats that have got us into the mess we're in. It is time for the progressives to be energized, stay energized, and stop trying to masquerade as centrists or pull more people into the coalition or risk getting criticized by Van Jones. It's time for us to be unapologetically progressive and stand up for those bread and butter issues that Mr. Mamdani successfully did in New York, not because we're cynically trying to win or give the right messaging, but because that is what people need, because that is why we have government, to fix roads and help people, to bring the commons into alignment with the needs of the people. And I agree with you, Michael. The progressive wing isn't the problem. We are the pulse. We are the future. We are the energy. So the fact that centrist Dems continue to try to take a few of our ideas, put them in their platforms, and then nerf them out, dumb them down, half-step them, that is the whole problem. Deliver on what you say. Be unapologetic. Quit pandering to people who are never going to vote for you. Take care of your base. Stop being afraid to say poor people, working class people, under-resourced communities. Acknowledge the growing gap between rich and poor. Take on the oligarchy. That's what Mamdani has done. And they've showed their behind by coughing up millions, little income redistribution to defeat this dude. You know, when Elon Musk farts out dollars to try to keep you out of office and you win anyway, that's a win for people everywhere. Not just Democrats, not just Republicans, regular people who have to feed our families. But hopefully this is just the beginning. Don't forget, Pedro Pizarro, pedro.pizarro@sce.com. Drop an email if you have time today. Give him a call, 626-302-2255, then press 1. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's got an excellent show for you today. I know among his guests is Reverend William Barber, so you don't want to miss that. Like my mama, the former poet laureate of San Francisco, Diana Prima, used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we're making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. California's Prop 50 passed Tuesday by a wide margin. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass thinks voters sent a message to President Donald Trump.
What is really important in our country is that we have a check and a balance on this White House. And the only way to do that is for Democrats to take back the House of Representatives.
The passage of Prop 50 means a new map of California's congressional districts will be used in next year's midterm election. The map will likely give Democrats 5 more seats in the House of Representatives. And Black Democrat Jay Jones has won Virginia's Attorney General race, defeating Republican incumbent Jason Miyares, despite backlash over violent 2022 texts. Miyares conceded, graciously acknowledging the controversy but wishing Jones success, saying, "We the people of Virginia need it." Get BIN News Now on demand